All right, so today is actually the 18th of November, but I'm doing a recap for yesterday's trading. I never really got round to doing it, and because I just got so busy. And I pretty much traded the futures, um, and I also traded some stocks, but the stocks weren't good and they were bad. And essentially, uh, I don't know, for some weird reason I don't want to say I'm on a losing streak when it comes to trading options, but I'm not finding a lot of joy with my options trades recently. So I've decided to just focus only on the futures because I think the way I want to trade suits the futures so much better. All right, so this was yesterday's trading. Just to kind of put some context into what we were looking at. As you can see, we had a buy climax and then a sell climax. So it's almost like a trading range had developed of some sort. If we look at let's see if we can share. This is the 4 hour chart. It's not very well represented on NinjaTrader, but if we can kind of look at it now and disregard, it's very difficult to see. So let's use Thinkorswim and let's analyze it from this perspective. So this is kind of how we've been up until yesterday. Ignore this, and I noticed we started to form a parabolic wedge here. So when the market opened, I was kind of expecting this sell-off and obviously some sort of reversal over here, and kind of watched it from that perspective. And then we had a sideways consolidation. Um, so if we then now look at how we then took our trades during the day, um, I'm actually surprised this is not supposed to be the 4 hour chart. This is supposed to be the 5 minute chart, but the one that has the Globex in it. Yeah, this is better. All right, anyway, back to the recap. So anyway, I was expecting price to at least open. Should we say sell off at the open? I was expecting a sell off. Oops. I was expecting a sell off here. Um, Only just because we were on a downtrend. I could see a bear channel forming, and we had pushed down one, two, and this was the third push. So expecting something like that to happen, and then we're just kind of moving down. The other thing I also noticed now is, I think I can talk about this now, is that we have kind of reached the top. This is the all-time high, and we formed a double top, and it looks like we're going into a training range, probably down. But anyway, so looking at that, I knew we were reversing if we held this consolidation here, had a double bottom and then headed up, which is what's happening right now. And it looks like we are exhausted at the top. Just looking at this big bar, 3 pushes up, 1, 2, 3. All right, and then now it's kind of pushing down. But anyway, so I just kind of watched this bar as it formed. Took a while to got down here, and then this bar started to form. And what I did was I jumped the gun. I went short before this bar closed. I think I had 1 more minute. And I went short round about here. In fact, let me see. I can actually show my. I can actually show my entry and exits, because I think that would really help. Marker. All right, there we go. So I went short here. Actually on this bar here, and I'm thinking of taking this off, but anyway, slight distraction on the other side. All right, so yeah, so I ended on this bar here because I just thought, okay, we're probably going to get a big bar, and that was really poor of me, because as you can see, we had a wick, and at that point I realized, I mean, I had my stop up. Actually, I put my stop up here, and at that point I thought, this is not a great trade, because for all I know, yes, we have a big bar, but I am jumping the gun. What if we start to reverse here? Because we probably have formed a wedge here. Then we pull back, and then start to go down. Then I enter the second contract over here, Actually, do you know what? Let me make these data points a lot more visible. So I'm gonna make a cell black. Should we try black or white? Do you know what? Because purple works. It's just that if I do make that black, I wouldn't see this over here. So maybe I should just leave it as purple. It's just really hard to see. Yeah, okay, we'll just leave it as that. I'll come up with another idea later. But anyway, so yeah, so went short again with a second contract over here. That broke out there. And then I exited just both contracts over here, which was a bit premature. And then we just kind of started to sell off. And I think now analyzing this, I think I exited out of panic because I saw this green bar. So I thought maybe we might reverse. And I just did not think that we would go this far. But anyway, if anything, maybe we could have exited over here anyway, based on the plan. So just kind of waited. Then I went long here. And the reason why I went long was at the break of this bar was because I just thought, well, this is a double bottom. Yeah, let's go long. At the time, I had a trend line or a channel that was doing this. And this is how I plotted the channel. And then I stopped myself out because I thought, why am I entering so high where there's sellers? Maybe this is not a great trade. So I exited, and then of course price went up. And then now looking at it again, this is one pullback, two. This is a two-legged move to the highs. I'm not angry that I got out here. I could have gotten in again, but I wasn't convinced. And then I got in here again. Yeah, I bought this bar, the close of this bar. And I think I bought two contracts here. Exited one here, exited the other, and exited another one here. Why do I have three exits? One, two. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, sorry. I exited here, weirdly. This was just a really quick scalp, and I think these were just out of, again, just not really sure what I was doing, and just second guessing myself. I sold this. No, I sold this bar because I realized we had a wedge. I think we had a wedge, and then I sold it again higher. I'm not sure actually. Maybe I entered twice here, entered, exited, and then sold this bar. And then I remember when I sold this bar, it hadn't closed yet. It was still green, and I was saying to myself, what am I doing? This is probably a bit too early. Fair enough, we're here where the sellers are, but what if this breaks out and could be a breakaway gap? Let's see what happens. Kept my stop up here, and then sold some more here as we're going down. Exited both here because I just thought we're at the bottom of the wedge. What if this wedge fails? Let's just get exit. Then I sold again over here. I sold a really large position before, and this was just really emotions. Wasn't really thinking what I was doing, and that really I started to have a bit of fear because I was thinking, based on this whole idea of it reversing, maybe it was not a good idea. We could break, we could not break. It wasn't a good trade, and so therefore I took out a lot of my positions, and then had a final exit over here. And then of course this happened. I didn't actually trade the rest of this for the rest of the day. I was just checking out the setups. Usually this is the best way to trade a wedge is to take it from this or even this and try and go as close to the bottom as possible. But I wasn't to know. I was very, very fearful at the time. It wasn't even much I was risking, but I think it wasn't so much the amount that I was risking that was the issue. It was the fear of missing out, fear of losing money. I also took a trade. Oh yeah, so when I went long here and got out, I went on to before I did that, when I wanted to take this short, but before this short had triggered, I went to the MNQ and I went long here. Where was it now? Yeah, I went long here. So when this bar printed, I didn't actually have a trigger to go long, but I went long, put my stop down here, only because I saw this bar. So this was a green, so this bar had opened here, went all the way up, entered long here, and it pulled back and then closed here. We had another red bar. I entered a second position here, just because I thought, okay, fine, this is not so much a pullback, this is a high one buy, and we've broken the high one, so I'm just gonna enter again. Held it, exited the first, had my first exit over here, saw this double top, pulled back. My average price was around here, and I got stopped out here because I pushed my my stop to break even, since I'd already taken one out. Then I entered two more contracts over here, exited here for a scalp, and that was the rest of the trade. Yeah, again, for fearful. What I need to do now is I need to work on catching this entire move. I mean, this is how many? This is probably now 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 1 hour. Yeah. This was the initial target, and you can see we went past that target, and the target for this trade when I got in here, I really wanted to get this, and that didn't really work out. So certainly there's a lot of work I need to do as far as holding my positions, because obviously there there was a really good opportunity to aim for that, and it didn't really happen. As I look at it now, I realize that this was just the first pullback, and I should allow for that. Although I don't like tops, even though yes, we're in a bull trend, and this is the exhaustive leg. You know, sometimes your mind plays tricks on you, and you think this is not going to work out, and it does work out. Um, but this is, I guess, what trading's about. And even if it did pull back, putting your stop here would have been cool, or even getting out and buying more again at the lows. We had another wedge bottom here, so we could have bought this bar or even this, and you could have gone more, 1, 2, 3. So you had, if I'm just going to mark them, you had some really good opportunities. My mouse just gets stuck in this thing. You had some good opportunities there. You had another good opportunity here, and of course you have another good one here, or even possibly, yeah, you have a good one here. So even this could have bought this and gotten some from there. So one needs to work harder at finding, not even finding, but staying in with these opportunities, because if one needs to do well with the futures, you have to have the balls to stay in your trades. And I guess for me, it's just when you have lost some stupid trades on the futures, then you start to think, oh, maybe you're not good at it, and that has happened a few times. So, yeah. Now I'm actually surprised I didn't actually see this as a reversal. Now I see why this had so many bars, because you could see there was another wedge here, but that failed. We're above the moving average. So yeah, one has to really hold and try to work at making sure they can actually go through that. So this is the challenge right now with trading and trading the futures. Yes, we make some money, but there is always that concern. Maybe it's also the fact that the P&L is showing, so maybe it's worth changing this and just leaving it at points as opposed to currency. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at points, because every time you look at it, it starts to play with your mind, and maybe not, yeah, maybe not even showing, realize when flat, yeah, maybe even taking that out so you don't see it and only looking at it at the end of the day. I know a trader who does that. And so once you get into that mindset and you're just following the rules and you're just following how you're supposed to trade, then you trade properly. Based on my account size, I can increase my contract size, and I'm thinking I may do that soon. But I want to start off first with very small size, get used to trading um, comfortably before I then now move on to a bigger uh, a bigger um, a bigger position. All right, so that was trading for me yesterday.